Today, I'm going to analyze how much worse this altcoin dip is going to get. And I'm also going to tell you if there's anything you need to worry about regarding how the market structure of these altcoins is unfolding. I'm going to keep this video short and to the point, so watch it to the end. And before we start, nothing here is financial advice, and I'm not a financial advisor. So I'm going to start off this video by saying what we're seeing in the market is completely normal and to be expected. My last few videos in mid-May, I was talking about this dip that was going to come. And the reason I haven't uploaded since was because I had nothing to say. And I'm not going to waste your time by uploading filler content. I spent that time being extremely patient in waiting for this dip to come. And that patience has already paid off, as many altcoins are down 30 to 40% from their highs. A lot of people panic sold in March, April, and then they started FOMO buying back in after coins had done a 3 to 4x off the bottom. I believe what we're seeing now is the market is testing these people again and punishing them. So I just want to take you through a couple of things. First, I'm going to take you through my bull market checklist. We're going to use this checklist when needed on this channel to determine whether or not we need to stay in the market or get out. After that, we'll discuss how much lower prices will go and what actions we should be taking when they do go lower. So the first thing we need to check to figure out if we need to hold on to our positions or sell ASAP is check the daily trends of the market. Remember this table, we ideally need Bitcoin above its daily trend and altcoins also above their daily trend. So currently Bitcoin is still above the daily trend, but if we take a look at altcoins, the majority of them are losing their daily trend, which according to this table I made, it's not ideal. But in this case, and considering the context of the market, I believe some leeway is in order, considering how much these altcoins exploded off the bottom. Losing and chopping a daily trend was going to happen sooner or later. It doesn't mean the entire leg is finished or that the altcoins are done, and I'll explain why in just a moment. But the second thing I want to show you is the timing of these legs. Let's consider the context of this market since December. This thing downtrended for around 4 months straight, and only since April or so have we started uptrending. In my view, considering all of the amount of pain we had over these months, I don't think this uptrend fully reflects that. It's difficult to explain, but when the market downtrends like this, it builds a lot of power, and that's why we get explosions like this when altcoins rip really fast off the lows. But yes, timing wise, if we compare this leg to the previous legs, we have June left and July left. Now let's check some technical data to make sure that we're still good to keep holding onto our coins. If you take a look at the funding rate heat map, this hasn't gotten overheated yet in this current leg, so no causes for concern over here. If we take a look at the Bitcoin risk on premium, we can see that it still hasn't flipped green. When this indicator flips green, it's usually the beginning of the end. We have around 30 to 45 days left in the leg when this flips green. It's insane to me how when Bitcoin recently broke its all-time high, this indicator didn't flip green. That's not usually normal, because if you take a look at last time when Bitcoin broke its all-time high, the sentiment completely flipped. And I'm sure you remember how insane things were when Bitcoin broke all-time high after Trump won. Altcoins pumped like crazy. But now you've seen how this time it's different. Bitcoin broke its all-time high, but there's no real excitement around it. I'm sure you felt it. I'm going to discuss the reasons and implications behind it in just a minute because it's very important. But yes, for now, this is still a good thing for us because it means we have a lot of time left in the leg. And the third and final thing to check regarding the technical things is the Bitcoin mining cost. When there's a large gap between these two lines, so the blue one and the orange one, sell everything and don't look back, because it's going to mean the cycle top is in. And right now, we're still good. There's no cause for concern over here. The fourth thing I want to share with you is my feel of crypto YouTube and my pulse for retail. This time, despite altcoins ripping from the lows, I've noticed that most YouTube channels haven't grown in viewership. In November and December, all channels exploded in views. They'd get double or triple what they usually get. But this time, there's been almost no change. And that tells me that the late exit liquidity retail that comes right at the end of a leg, they're not even close to here yet, which means we've got plenty of juice left in the market. My checklist has way more things in it, but what I just covered are the main things you need to know. And I know what you're thinking. This market feels really weird. Bitcoin breaks all-time high, and it's like no one cares. It's like altcoins don't care. The market feels dead, boring, lethargic during a time where really there should be great excitement. I understand how you feel, and I agree. And I think a lot of it comes down to Bitcoin changing as an asset. I don't know if you saw that post about how retail panic sold Bitcoin to institutions at the lows, and they hold the highest percentage of Bitcoin they ever have. But Bitcoin really does feel really institutional now. It's like breaking all-time high or being at 110k isn't a big deal anymore. It's almost expected. Spin-off MSTR companies buy Bitcoin and remove it from circulation forever. In the meanwhile, there's no real euphoria in Bitcoin from retail. And that's good for us, even if you don't hold Bitcoin, because the last thing you want is a weak Bitcoin killing your altcoins even more. Anyways, my read of the market is the market leg is still intact, and my base case is that the prices and your portfolio will go higher. But now let's talk about this current altcoin dip. How much lower are prices going to go? So for this, I'm going to share 2 points of analysis with you. Make sure you pay attention. First is what I shared in my last video. We should be expecting the altcoin index to drop 18% or even more based on history, which translates to around a 30% dip on most altcoins. But remember, I pointed out in this video that if you compare our situation to September 2024, which was the final dip before the all-time high breakout, we didn't even pump that hard in September. When we pumped recently from the April lows, we pumped really hard. Look at Pepe, for example. From April, it pumped 180%. If we take a look at September 2024, which was over here, we pumped about 80%. So you can see how this leg over here, this mini leg, was a lot more powerful compared to September, and that's why it makes sense for the dip to be bigger than what we had in September. That's why I'm saying it's completely normal for these altcoins to be having harsh corrections. And as I said in my previous videos, if you remember, that structurally it makes sense to see some profit taking, and that's all this is. I'm not worried by it, and if I do see a situation where actually the prices are going too low and I'm starting to get worried again, I'll make a video and I'll let you know. So make sure you subscribe for that. But right now, there's nothing here that worries me. It's just simple profit taking. The second piece of analysis that is going to tell us when the dip is going to end is the 6-hour RSI. This is one of my most favorite tools technically. Try it yourself. Go to the 6-hour time frame and look what happened when the RSI hits the bottom. It's usually marked major bottoms. So therefore, when the majority of altcoins are in the red for the RSI on the 6-hour time frame, that's when I think the bottom will be in. And the good news is, for a lot of altcoins, if I just keep going down, they're almost already there. So it's on my belief that in terms of price, we don't have much lower to go. But in terms of timing, we could see this happen. So the next few days or so, whenever alts do give their final dip, they will still chop and mess around for another 2-3 weeks. So they could do something like this where the dip, go back up and the dip again, and then we start going up. And the reason I think that is because for a lot of these altcoins, they did mega moves off the bottom. Take this one, for example, they did a 2.5x off the bottom. And I think taking some time to consolidate after that is totally normal and to be expected. I personally haven't made a move in this market for quite a few weeks now, and I've been very patient in buying anything. I don't want to buy up here. The altcoins that I want are almost at the entry, and judging by how this market is dipping, I believe I'll be able to buy the altcoin and share it on the Discord first, and then also share it on YouTube too. And I'm actually going to make a video telling people which of these altcoins I think they need to sell. You've already seen me discuss coins like Ondo and Beam. Take a look, they've basically done nothing from the bottom. And I think these new altcoins that I'll share will give people some options to swap out of these terrible underperformers. So if you want to be alerted as to what altcoin I buy as soon as I buy it, make sure you join the Discord ASAP, because it looks like the market is going to keep dipping. It seems as though the price wants to go to the 4-hour 200 EMA magnet, which is around 102.8k, which is where I'd buy, and it would also coincide with many 6-hour RSI bottoms on altcoins. Now, the final thing I need to talk to you about in this video is something that's really important. It's about emotional control and patience. So many people couldn't control their emotions over the last few weeks, and they ended up buying these altcoins at the highs. And by being patient, I saved myself easily 30% of my capital already. And the reason it's so important to not buy at the wrong prices and then eat those 30% losses is because, let's say I buy something at 10 cents with $1,000 and it dumps 20% to 8 cents. You lose $200, which is okay. You can stomach that loss, right? But let's say you get a poor entry. Let's say you buy this at 0.17 and then it goes to 0.08. You've lost almost $500. At that point, you'd probably be panicking and sell that position, only to realize you were right and you sold for basically no reason. I'm using syrup as an example because this actually happened to me. I bought it at 12 cents or so and I saw it dip, but I didn't panic sell because I knew I already had a great entry. That's why for everyone in the Discord who's watching, I'm so patient. Once you get the right risk to reward, there's zero reasons to stress and it's very difficult to lose money. Not to mention, you make more money as well when you get a better entry. So this was a shorter video than usual. Hopefully it eased your mind a bit. I'll leave the link to the Discord in the pinned comments. Thanks for watching.